What is up, our Will Feel number one fans and viewers? This is Scott Casey Gale, Will Feel number one today. I'm going to give you my recap and review of American Crime Story, The Assassination of Gianni Versace, Season 2, Episode 3, entitled A Random Killing, which I thought was a really good brutal episode. Okay, let's begin the recap, shall we? Shall we? Cunanan had already killed 4 men in a killing spree spanning several states in this week's episode. So versus Cunanan's chronology. Sentenced on his third victim, Lee McLean, briefly on his fourth, William Reese. Okay. A random killing gets so thoroughly to fleshing out the character of Miglen, played by Mike Field, a Chicago real estate tycoon whose ties to Cunanan remain ambiguous to this day. That Gianni Versace and his family don't appear in this episode at all. Let's get into 5 taking points from tonight's hour. Number 1, Cunanan's breath play antics last week were a callback to his third murder. Remember the nameless elderly man Cunanan seduced and then nearly smothered with masking tape in last week's episode? Of course you do. That starting sequence makes a lot of sense in light of this episode, which takes place several weeks prior Cunanan murdering Miglen in a very similar fashion in real life. It was never proven whether Miglen and Cunanan knew each other prior to the murder. The FBI considers it likely they did, which the Miglen family staunchly denies. But in the show, Miglen's depicted as a deeply closeted regular client of Cunanan's and a pretty heartbreaking character in his own right. That was a very bizarre, disturbing scene when Cunanan then seduced Miglen and then murdered him. That was very brutal in my opinion. And then Cunanan's self-loathing emerges in his cruelty to Miglen. Though the murder itself was brutal, a police officer notes that every one of Miglen's ribs were broken. It's the viciousness of Cunanan's words that really stand out in this episode. Despite knowing that theirs is purely a business relationship, Miglen seems quietly besotted with Cunanan, who in turn seems repulsed. Miglen is touchily eager to tell Cunanan about his plans to build a 125-story tower, the tallest in the world, in Chicago, and name it the Sky Needle. I wanted to share this with you for a long time, he tells Cunanan, who Albert sneers in his face, mocking both Miglen's ambitions and his clear emotional investment in their relationship. Later, when Cunanan brutally kills Miglen and leaves his body to be found in a deliberately humiliating fashion, wearing women's underwear and surrounded by gay porn, which is similar to episode 1, where Cunanan claims to be straight and casually throws out the F word. He doesn't just want Miglen dead, he wants him outed and humiliated, remembered as a pansy. There's so much internalized homophobia in Cunanan, and it feels like Miglen seals his fate when he admits to having real feelings for him. Moments before Cunanan calmly confesses that he's already killed 2 people who were very close to him. Yes, definitely brutal, definitely really good acting in those 2 scenes. And number 3, the tower conversation tells you everything you need to know about Cunanan's worldview. Miglen is excited about the Sky Needle because he imagines families visiting together and children thrilled to ascend the tallest tower in the world. Cunanan though bones on the fact that he hypothetical tower would loom over the Sears Tower, so they can lock down in the Sears Tower opposition deck to Cunanan. There's nothing more powerful than the idea of looking down on people. The contrast between the two will really comes into focus, though when Miglen describes his fantasy of being able to visit his tower when just roam among people unannounced, they wouldn't know who I was, he says. But the notion of being anonymous is so galling to Cunanan that he flies into a sudden rage. affronted by Miglin's insistence, then is that the tower is not about him. Of course, it's about you. It's the Lee Miglin Tower to Kunan, and there is no value in building anything for any reason than putting your name on it. And interesting. I thought that was an interesting scene. And number 4, did the local radio station really scupper the Illinois police's investigation of Cunanan? Miglin is immensely powerful figure in the community, and as such as the police are all over this case, managing to track Cunanan for some time using the car phone in the Lexus he stole from Miglin. But when a local radio station runs a news item giving that information away, Cunanan is able to ditch the car, claiming his 4th victim in the process, and evade justice for another 2 months. Apparently this happened in real life too. Here's how it went down according to Maureen Orb's Vanity Fair article, The Killer Trail. The book follows good source material for this season of American Crime Story. And it says an activated car phone in Miglin's Lexus was used 3 times the following week in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Police confirmed a new report of the attempted phone calls, angering Chicago County Sheriff Randall Schregman, who told the Minneapolis Star Tribune everyone who was working on the case was outraged once he heard that he had been a fool to use a phone after that. Number 5, William Reese is the only victim not to have an episode to himself, but he does get a death scene that's surprisingly effective for its brevity. Unlike Cunanan's other victims, there was no apparent personal connection between Cunanan and Reese, and investigators concluded that he was killed solely for his truck. After giving Cunanan his keys, Reese calmly, politely begs for his life before being shot execution style in the back of the head, which I thought was a really brutal scene. This was a brutal episode. I mean, his wife, Miglin's wife, ended up crying later in the episode. She ended up accepting his death in the end. But Miglin's wife, we really don't know the details that if, like I said, Miglin's family did not know did not know or denied that Lee Miglin and Andrew Cunanan were lovers. They knew each other. We don't know if they really did it or they're covering that up. But Duke Miglin, who's the son of Lee Miglin, actually she had a part in Air Force One starring Harrison Ford. So yeah, it was good to see that. So his son actually is an actor, remember, for the pilot in Air Force One. But anyway, this was a really good episode. I mean, they really developed into the character of Andrew Cunanan. I mean, it's very, very intense. I mean, this is a very intense season, a very intense series. So I really enjoyed this show. Like I said, I really like the People versus O.J. Simpson, and I'm really liking this show as well. I think it's very well. In my opinion, the show is very, very well written. In my opinion, the show is very, very well written, and I would give this episode 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up. Now, like I said, there's only 6 episodes left. Episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, episode there. Episode 5. There's 6 episodes left. Episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there's 6 episodes left. The acting of this show is really well done. I mean, I think our actors and actresses are great on this show, and I can't wait to see what happens in the 6 remaining episodes. But yeah, I highly recommend this show. If you like the People versus O.J. Simpson, you'll love the assassination of Gianni Versace. You will definitely love this. You definitely love this. Like I said, I highly recommend it. Because you'll definitely be thrilled in what you see. But anyway, let's But yeah, it's like I said, really well written series. Definitely check it out. And then once again, I give this episode 5 stars, 2 thumbs up, way up. Comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about this episode. You know who to subscribe to. You stay classy, live long and prosper, and peace out. And I'll be back here next week for episode 4.